We'll give everybody a few more moments to join into the meeting.
Are you still hearing the music? I mean, the meditation music?
I'm sorry?
Are you still hearing the
No, I'm not.
meditation?
No,
Okay. So that means it's not working anymore, right?
that would be correct.
Oh, welcome, Julia. How are you doing, my friend? Oh, my gosh.
Hmm.
I'm so happy. Very excited to see you online.
Can you hear me?
Uh, yes, I can. Please. Oh, that's perfect. Wow, Julia, tell me, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, I, I'm full of beans and I give thanks to God.
Full of beans.
What about you?
Full of beans. I haven't heard that saying before.
So you are kidding me, right? I bet, isn't it?
I've never heard that saying before. Usually, if we eat pork and beans, that means you're gonna be gassy later.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It is
Mhm.
it is a kind of expression which means that okay, I'm brimming with energy and overflow with joy. Yes.
Okay, I want to show you my overflowing with joy. When I saw your ad and I
Yeah.
said, "Oh my gosh, how did he know?" So I had to break
Wow.
out my hat.
Yeah. So it's going to be a powerful event. I mean, insightful. I'm truly excited. Julia, I'm so grateful that you attend. I mean, you're going to attend the event, right? It's been
I'm
a
glad I
while.
read the post wrong.
I don't think you read it wrong.
Well, all I saw was 2 p.m. Eastern time. And I was like, oh no, I'm already late. I was like, wait, that's Saturday, not today. It's been a while since I've been on a webinar.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
used
that's
to, I
quite a
used to do it
few.
all the time.
Yeah, I'm still doing it.
Um, It was about 10 years ago. I joined a company called Swiss Gold Global, but they're now Utopian Global, and we did webinars all the time. They had a Procter consultants, provide. So,
Well, we lost Julia. Her connection was getting choppy.
Yeah. Hopefully she will get back.
There you are.
Yes.
Yeah, you were getting
Yes.
choppy there, Julia.
yeah, I accidentally hit my earphone and it logged me off.
I hate when that happens.
I know. It's convenient but confusing. Yeah.
All right, Jerome. So I'd like you to let me know when you want me to start, since this is supposed to be geared for an hour.
Yes, I think time is up. We can start off, right? And in the course of time, people will just keep in uh they will just keep joining, right?
Yeah,
It works like that. Yeah.
right. So, hello, everyone. My name is Albert Whale. I'm a certified coach with Napoleon Hill Institute, and that's just one part of my journey. I've been on Facebook and talking with Jerome on multiple occasions and trying to facilitate the teachings and learnings of Think and Grow Rich, not to mention all of the other principles that go and are aligned with it. My journey with Think and Grow Rich started about 10 years ago. And actually, it started when The Secret came out. Anybody remember The Secret? The Secret was a movie created
Oh,
by
yes.
a
That's where it
lady,
all started for me.
Rhonda Byrne. And she lit the world on fire with this movie that she didn't have money for to create, but she knew she had to do it, right? And she didn't have personalities in it, but she knew she had to do it. So she facilitated the principles from Napoleon Hill's research, and that was definiteness of purpose and persistence. Look, this book, Think and Grow Rich, was the brainchild of Andrew Carnegie. Andrew Carnegie was a very, very rich billionaire steel magnate and multi conglomerate business owner. And he was being interviewed by several newspapers, and he happened upon this gentleman. His name was Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill was a reporter, and he got to meet Napoleon, Andrew did, and he invited him to his house. And Napoleon Hill's like, oh, thank you, because I didn't have money for a hotel room to stay. And he stayed with Andrew Carnegie for 3 days. And during those 3 days, Andrew and Napoleon bonded, and they got to know each other. Andrew finally decided that the opportunity to ask Napoleon Hill whether or not he could work on this project was the right time. So he came up and he said, look, I have a project that I need you to research for 20 years, and I want you to write a book. And in this book, I want you to tell about everybody who has been successful during this Gilded Age. And they called it the Gilded Age because it was during the Great Depression in the United States. A lot of people didn't have 2 nickels for the next food. And there were more people that were millionaires, hundreds of millionaires. They had mansions all over the world. So Andrew wanted to have this understanding for what did some people do that made them great successes while others were just barely able to survive. And he wanted to share that information to the world. So when he asked Napoleon Hill if he could commit 20 years of his life to do research on this book, Think and Grow Rich, he didn't have a title at the time, but Andrew Carnegie said, look, I'll make introductions to 500 millionaires, and I want you to study what everybody tells you they've done and how they've done it in order to create this new product, this new understanding of how to succeed in this world. Will you do it? And Andrew Carnegie had a stopwatch in his hand behind his desk. He timed Napoleon Hill's answer, and Napoleon Hill said yes in 29 seconds. Now, Andrew Carnegie had in his mind that if Napoleon didn't say yes, he didn't have the right guy, because he needed somebody to be dedicated to the mission, and he wasn't going to pay them any money to do this research. But what he was going to do was set them up for success. And he told Napoleon Hill that you will make more money doing this and more millionaires than I ever did. And Napoleon couldn't believe that. So Andrew said, look, you're going to tell yourself this in the mirror every day until you believe it. And it'll be in about 30 days that you'll understand that you are going to pass me at the racetrack and be a bigger millionaire than I ever was. Now, to this day, both Andrew Carnegie and Napoleon Hill have left legacies that are still affecting this world. Andrew Carnegie's effects for the public library system are all over the United States and all over the world, from what I understand. And he still has philanthropic adventures going on. So when Napoleon Hill said yes, he didn't believe that he would be bigger than Andrew Carnegie. But in the end, and Napoleon Hill has made more millionaires than Andrew Carnegie ever did. More people that have read Think and Grow Rich have been able to succeed, but even more have read the book and done nothing, because it's hard to change yourself from within. And that's why people use coaches. Now, I'm going to go through the program and process to success and give you a little more background about how I have achieved where I am currently. Now, after watching The Secret by Rhonda Byrne for like 2 years, I decided that I really wasn't manifesting anything at any great speed. And I didn't understand what was going on in order to make all of this success happen. So I started watching all of the superstars that were involved in the journey with Napoleon Hill, right? Some of those people included John Ashraf, Dr. Joe Vitale, and Bob Proctor. All of these individuals got where they were today by working with the principles of Think and Grow Rich and Napoleon Hill Institute. Now, Bob Proctor might be the most notable person that people remember as far as personal development is concerned. And I watched all of his free videos that I could find on YouTube about every piece of subject matter that he was studying with Napoleon Hill and Earl Nightingale and W. Clement Stone and many other personal development people. But I wasn't getting anywhere. And I started going to the webinars that Bob Proctor was having with Proctor Gallagher Institute. And after one of these free webinars, I was contacted by my mentor today. Her name's Cleona O'Hara. She signed me up. And actually, she called me on the phone and she asked me, how is your journey going? And I said, well, to be honest with you, you keep flying around in circles, don't you, Julia? Going upside down, defying gravity. That's a law you're not supposed to be able to break. Come on. So there are universal laws that we are governed by in this universe, and Julia's trying to break them all. Anyway, so Cleona asked me how I was doing. And I said, look, I've been studying Bob Proctor and all the principles and everything that he's been talking about for around 8 years. But honestly, I don't understand why I am not achieving what I want to achieve. And she said, well, you know, it's quite simple, Albert. You haven't made the decision to start. Every journey has a starting point. Every mission has a starting point. Every race has a starting point. Herbert, I'm going to unmute you if you don't mind. Here we go. Yeah, if you could ask people to mute themselves when they come on, if they want to raise their hand, I'm open to answering questions. If we want to make this interactive, that's great.
Yes.
Jerome, if you could put that in the chat, please mute, but raise your hand if you have a question that you'd like to have addressed.
Sure, but since you are the host of the event, you have the right to mute them, right?
Oh yeah, I did. I muted them.
Fantastic.
Some people get in and they don't understand that they've unmuted and they got background noise and it's coming through. That's all.
Great.
Anyway, so Cleona asked me, how was it going? And I said, it wasn't going at all. I wasn't getting the traction I wanted. I wasn't achieving the goals I had in mind. And she said, you need to make the decision. And I said, well, that's lovely, but I don't have the money. This is a complaint that I get all the time. I don't have the money. And that might be very true from sitting where you are today. But if you don't decide to do something, you don't need the money. Right? You have enough money to do the things that you want to do because you decided to do them. If you decide to go buy a new car, or you decide to go out and get a new wardrobe, clothes, or things like that, you've made a decision and the money shows up for you to go do these things. If you want to buy a new house, you don't have the down payment ready for a house that you want to buy because you haven't decided that you like this house and you want to buy it. Well, the same thing was true when I started with Napoleon Hill Institute. Cleona told me when I was ready, if I said that I was making the decision, the money would show up. And I agreed with her. And I said, I'm ready. I want to sign up and have you as my coach. As soon as I made that decision, the money showed up. A pathway forward was presented to me. And I was able to pay the bill to get started. Now, coaching was really interesting because, I've been doing everything myself for many, many years, being very successful, being in the military, creating the internet, working in cybersecurity, getting a degree in electrical engineering. I did all those things myself. So the old saying is, if you want to go somewhere fast, do it yourself. If you want to go somewhere far, you do it with others. Because now you have a team to work with. Now you have a mastermind group. So when I decided to start coaching, Cleona asked me what my routine was. And I said, look, I get up at 7 o'clock in the morning to start work at 8. And that's very good. I have a good time with that. That works for me. She said, okay, I need you to put in an hour's worth of studying before you go to work. And if you do that, then you will have great success. I said, great, I will get up at 6 a.m. and start studying. She said, no, I really would like you to get up at 5:30. And I was struggling with saying yes. So I said, I think I'll have enough time to do an hour's worth of studying if I get up at 6. I still have an hour's time before my normal routine. So I started off with the program, learning the material at 6 a.m. But in just 2 weeks, I emailed and texted my mentor and said, you are right. This material is so good that I need more time to study so I can learn more in the same day. So I'm getting up now at 5:30, and I don't need an alarm clock anymore. This was against everything that I was doing. So a month went by, and I was using the principles that I was learning. And as I developed that understanding of who I am and what I need to do to get the goals that I was looking to achieve, I started writing my first book. So I made dramatic changes, not only in 2 weeks, but in 30 days, I was writing my first successful book. It's right here in front of me. #Hacked. This book I completed in 8 weeks, which is unheard of. If you talk to people that are book writers or authors, their first book is usually 3 or 4 years in the making. I wrote it in 8 weeks and won an award for data protection and cybersecurity. Now, usually when I say the word cybersecurity, people's heads explode. And I'm not trying to do that here. What I want to say is it's a very technical matter, cybersecurity, but I write it in a manner that people can understand easily. So, there's that. And making it so that anyone can understand it is important and essential. But right after I published it, it took my publisher another 2 months to publish it, and it came out in February 2022 on Amazon. It's still there today. In 30 days, I had 14 other authors that were looking for the ability to be in my next book. Now, I started in personal development with a coach, but I never expected to be an author. But yet here I was driven, I was directed by my higher power, by my God, I call him God, or universal intelligence, that I had enough understanding and experience to write a book. And here I was 30 days after publishing and winning an award for my first book to be gracious, to be approached by 12 other people that wanted to write my second book, which is back here, #hacked2. And we did that in 4 months. That's double the time, but there was 12 other people writing. And it became a #1 international bestseller in less than 12 hours. This is from somebody that never expected to write a book, that worked in technology, that had a family. I have 6 kids. I don't know how many of you have children, but most of mine are, you have 4? Okay, Julia, you're a slacker. Come on, let's go. You have so much time to enjoy these kids. You need more in your life. Anyway, that's what I tell others. And some people look at me and say, I have my hands full with 1. I said, well, it gets easier with 2. And then they start helping you take care of them when you have 3 or 4. Isn't that right, Julia? You can come off mute if you'd like to share.
Yeah, I have 4. Me and my husband are still together, 19 years.
There you go. Congratulations.
Awesome kids. I teach them everything I learn.
It's great having kids because you get to see the world in a different manner. Before you have kids, it's all about you and your spouse, right? Or maybe just about you.
It's laggy.
It's what?
They cut me out and putting me back on. Like right now, I don't hear anything. I don't know if you hear me.
I can hear you now. Before you have kids, you said it was what? Well, it's all about you because you're focused on your life.
Hear
But
me now?
yeah, as soon as you have kids, then you have to focus on this little human that you have to take care of, right?
Yeah. I've wanted children from as long as I can remember. So, yeah.
Children are great.
Yeah.
And the younger that I can teach kids this information, I mean, we have coaches that are exclusively focused on just teaching kids because they don't teach this material in school,
I know. It should
not in
be a
college.
mandatory class.
Yeah, exactly. Like how to handle money.
Oh, yep, that one too.
There's an idea for you, right?
Yeah.
So by November of 2022, I was asked to write a chapter in a book, My Year with Bob Proctor. That was my 3rd book in less than a year. Now, that being said, on the 14th of February this year, I wrote my 4th book, Getting Unhacked, which is contrary to getting hacked or #hacked, but getting unhacked is freeing your mind to achieve better things in your reality. The #hacked series and Getting Unhacked, I'm having produced right now for Audible. You can listen to it in your car. And people that want to sign up for the Getting Unhacked book, they are permitted to get a free copy of the meditation that one of the 7 co-authors put together for it. It's a meditation that you can listen to at night to help free your mind. So that's available for anyone wishing to get unhacked. So there are 15 chapters in the Think and Grow Rich journey. And I thought it was relevant to the process for seeking your success. So I brought them here for us to talk about. The #1 goal that everybody needs to have is a desire. Do you have a desire to do something in your life for someone, serve someone, create something, make change? If you do, then this is the right journey for you. Faith. There's a saying that you can't be in fear or have faith. It's one or the other. If you have faith, you don't have any fear. Like you might not see the goal in front of you, but you're achieving it every day as you move forward to get to your desire, right? If you have faith, then you're not going to be fearful that you're not on that journey. And God will help you get there. Another very useful tool is auto-suggestion. And we go through and help you change your mind. I talk a lot about that here in Getting Unhacked. So it's a very easy to digest book. Comes available as an ebook as well. And right now it's available on Audible as well. So it's easy to get there. Auto-suggestion helps us reprogram our minds to achieve things that we didn't understand were important. When you're a child, let me go through this, Julia, because this might help you. But your children are basically tape recorders. I'll get right to you in a second, Jerome.
Yes, thank you, dear. But okay, yes, sure.
Everything that you teach them is locked away in their subconscious mind because they're a tape recorder. You have the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and how it affects the body, which are your actions to get to your goals. Now, up to the age of 7, they haven't developed a conscious mind to make decisions on their own. So they're learning about the world around them, whether it be language or how to get dressed in the morning. You could take that child from China, stick them in the United States, and they'll learn English. Consequently, you could take an English-speaking family and transport them to China, and that child may learn 2 languages, Chinese and English, because they're that tape recorder. Have you noticed that when you say something, your kids will mimic it? They're like tape recorders. This is why. Because they're learning about the world around them, and they don't have the ability to screen out or block things that they're starting to understand. Jerome, you had a question.
Yes, thank you so much, Herbert. Actually, I want to ask, does having faith mean to stick to your goal when nothing seems to work out for you? Because sometimes getting ahead gets so tough, and I can relate to that. I set a goal a while ago, but it's very it is very tough, and I feel discouraged, right? And sometimes I want to quit, seriously. So can we change the goal, right? When we find it too difficult to achieve the previous one we set?
That's a good question. And I have a couple different answers. So first of all, do you have the right goal? Because if the goal is not super big, it may not be the right goal for you. If the goal is so big that you don't understand how you can ever accomplish it, and there are other goals underneath that you want to accomplish to get on that journey to the super goal, we call that the definite chief aim. That's what you want to end up with. Then those goals will be filled on your way to the definite chief aim. But the definite chief aim is a C-type goal. Bob Proctor used to talk about A, B, and C goals. A goals are things that you've done before and you already know how to do. Okay, that's really not a goal. I want to buy a new car. Okay, well, you know how to do that. We have car dealerships and you can go fill out forms and pay money for your new car, and that's easy to do. You could have a B level goal, which is I want to start a business, but I need some capital. If Bob gives me $500 and my mom gives me $1,000 and the bank will give me $5,000, then I can start this business. That's really not a goal. That's a B-level goal. You might not have everything that you want right away, but if the steps aligned that you're putting in place come together to help you get that goal, that's a B level goal. A C level goal is a goal that scares the life out of you. My C level goal, and I'm just going to tell you, is to change the world in both cybersecurity and creating free thinkers. And I'm on my way on that journey. Writing my books, hashtag hacked, hashtag hacked2, having a cybersecurity company, which is going to turn the world on its head because we do cybersecurity differently. We don't wait for the event. We stop the event before it happens. That's going to change everybody's security in the world. And then creating a world, 8 billion people of free thinkers, helping people understand how to achieve their goals, how to achieve their desires, and make this a better world gets us out of control from people that want to control us. Do you watch television? Okay, Julia's saying no. Jerome, do you watch television?
No, no.
Okay.
I quit watching television a while ago. I mean, 5 years ago.
That's fine. I don't watch the news anymore at all. I do sit with family members and watch a show on Netflix or Prime, but I can also pick apart the programming that they're trying to give people, the fear, okay? Because shows on TV are called what? Programs. The news media is programming people for fear, uncertainty, and doubt so they can sell more time with commercials and make you fearful so that you have to come back to see more information about the news, the sports team that you're enamored with, or the economy of the world. You know, there's a lot of things that you can't affect that really don't influence you at all. But now, every day, because of the internet, we can hear about school shootings that happen halfway around the world. They've always happened, but now we're glorifying it and spreading that information around the world on the internet so that people can get more of this fear, uncertainty, and doubt and negativity to bring people into control because our governments want to take care of you. It's not that you can't take care of yourself, but they can do other things while they're in the throes of taking care of you. That's programming, okay? So we were back on this chapter list for Think and Grow Rich, and I was at autosuggestion. The fifth chapter is about specialized knowledge. I happen to have a degree in electrical engineering, and I've worked on the internet. When the events of 9/11 occurred, I was contacted by the FBI here in Pittsburgh, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and they asked me for help because they didn't know the internet and they wanted to investigate the September 17th watch list. Now, it's the 17th of September, but they had a watch list that was 36 pages long. And they wanted to know where all these people were coming from that were on the watch list and should they be concerned. So my specialized knowledge started in cybersecurity right at 9/11, because when the towers came down, I looked at my family and said, who's going to protect my family? And being a veteran of the United States Navy, I decided that I needed to stand up to protect our country, if not the world, right? So I use my specialized knowledge to help people about the internet, the security of our country, the computers that you're working on, the cell phone that you're recording your face on, Julia, because people don't know the issues that technology brings into their daily lives. That's why I wrote the anthology, #hacked. We're trying to spread that understanding, creating free thinkers so that people can be aware of what they're using where it's coming from, and how it can be used against them. The old saying is, you can't hack paper. So things that you write down are the most important things that you can do in your day to help influence your ability to achieve great things. And we come up with a daily program for each and every one of our students to help them succeed at their goals, to help influence their mind to achieve breakthroughs. And right now, with Napoleon Hill Institute, what we're doing is running a self-discipline camp. I've been going every day since December. Wake up at 5 o'clock to get to class at 5:30. And then we do meditation on a daily basis with auto-suggestion on achieving our goals. This is called a disruptor because while everyone else is sleeping, we've started our day during the quiet time, and we accomplish more before 7 o'clock than most people do all day in 8 hours. Does that make sense? So that disruption takes you out of the programming that has been in your subconscious mind, provided by people with really good intentions, your parents, the teachers, your friends, all of those things that aren't really helping you on a day-to-day basis to achieve your goal, because they don't know what your goal is. They just know what they were taught. And while they had good intentions, it may not be the best thing for you today. But a lot of people can't look past that until they change. We help you change by introducing new ideas and new ways to do things and make it a better place in the process. It's not hard, but you do have to be dedicated. You have to show up. That's the hardest part, showing up. Everything else is easy. You have to understand that the thoughts in your head create your reality. What you think about, you bring about. Napoleon Hill said, if you can conceive it in your mind and believe it, you can hold it in your hand. And that's true. Albert Einstein said that same thing. And so many great inventors have persisted with faith. Look at Thomas Edison. Jerome, you asked me about having faith. Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times, and people told him, you're crazy. You're never going to do this. You will never accomplish what you want. And if it weren't for his persistence and his faith, we wouldn't have the lights that we have at night now. We'd still be walking around with candles. And they don't generate a whole lot of light now, do they? Hello? Neuro? Yeah, thank you.
Yes, you can
muting.
mute him.
If you want to ask a question, I'm happy to make this interactive. Just raise your hand. We'll bring you up. You can ask your question. We'll answer any questions that you have. So the sixth step in manifesting a dream reality is your imagination. Do you remember being a child? What did you dream of? For boys, it was being cowboys or astronauts or firemen. What happened to those dreams? A lot of parents told us, you need to live in the real world. That's not reality. That's a nice thing to draw, very cute, but you need to learn your ABCs and your 1, 2, 3s. So we gave up our imagination. That's not necessarily the best thing that we can do, but if we can imagine something in our mind and believe it, we can hold it in our hand. When I imagined changing the world, I didn't know I was writing a book. I didn't know I was writing 4 books in 2 years. But I know I'm writing more yet to come. I have a 5th book already in my head, and it's formulating right now. Organized planning. That's the 6th step to riches. How many people have cars? Just about everybody, right? So when you go out at night, do you go out at night and drive in your car? Yeah, you probably do, because you have headlights that turn on and show you where to go, right? You don't have to know how to get from A to B. You just have to know how to get the next 20 feet. What we show you is how that you can have organized planning to get to the next level, to get to the next level, to get to the next level. If you have a destination in mind, that's all you need. You do not need to know how to get to each step along the way. The pathway will be shown. I did not know how to write a book. I built the internet. Everybody uses it, right? I didn't know what electrons were, but I went to school and I found out. Organized planning is how we create our journey from where we are. And you always start where you are today. Oh, I'm not ready. Well, of course you're not, because you didn't make the decision to start. Well, I don't have the money. Alfred, I'll get to you in just a second. Thank you. I don't have the money. Well, you don't need the money until you make the decision. The money will show up. The money is the least of your concerns. Money is energy. And money is how we show gratitude for services rendered. That's what money is. When we treat it like that, it's a tool. Alfred, you had your hand up. How can I serve you?
Okay, good evening.
Hi. Alfred, do you want to write your question in the chat?
To know that, yes, a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes.
What's the difference between a dream, imagination, and faith?
The dream,
second
imagination,
question,
and faith, right?
yes.
Let me write that
And
down.
the
Go
okay,
ahead.
and the second question is there any relationship between dream that we have while sleeping and faith? Thank you.
Okay. Sleeping dreams and faith, right? All right. So a dream is a goal without a date, something that you desire. Okay. I don't know what a dream is while you're sleeping. Like if you're flying in your dream, well, I think that means that you're Superman and you're supernatural and you have powers that you are not yet aware of. And when I say that with all the great intent in the world, because when we were put here on this earth, we had part of God in our creation. What we believe at Napoleon Hill Institute, and we're not a religious organization, we're spiritual. And I used to think that I was brought up Roman Catholic, and I fell away from the church because I saw them as controlling what people were allowed to do and how they were allowed to do it. And they always wanted more money, but they were the richest organization in the world. And I couldn't stand behind that. So I lost faith in organized religion. I think a lot of people need organized religion for structure. But if you can get beyond understanding that there's 10 laws that you shouldn't combat, you shouldn't violate, then you don't really need an organized religion. But I connect with God every day. I feel I'm more spiritual than I ever have been, and I have a better connection now with God than I ever did growing up. So if you can understand that you are a spiritual being, you came to this world by choice. You might not remember that because you were born as a baby with no knowledge of your past lives. And you were placed in a physical body. Some people have great health in their physical body. Others chose to have problems in their physical body. But these were choices that were made before they came. So we have godlike power in all of us. All right. And I just want to say that because your dreams, having the ability to do things that you might not be able to do in your reality, are telling you that you have the ability to do more than you know of. And that's where I'm going to leave your dream. But dreams and goals are similar. A goal is a dream, but you put a date on it. I want to do XYZ by May 30th, by the end of the year, by next year. Write it down. What's going to happen? Well, nothing will happen until you write it down. But if you put it in a place where you can have that, then you'll understand someday in the future, when you go and find your journal, that you wrote down your goal or your goals, if you have more than one, that most everything you've written down, you've achieved. Now, how do you do that faster? That's what we teach. Okay? But if you understand that your mind unlocks your reality, by writing it down, you're giving this influence to your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is dictated to help you achieve the goals in your current reality. Imagination is things that you can only dream about. What is your wildest dream? Being rich, being in love, being healthy, having a new home, being able to travel? What is it? You can put that in your imagination and create a lot of different pathways, right? Write them down. And then we can create goals together. That's what mentors do and help. The faith is the understanding that if you do things in a certain way, using the laws of the universe, you can achieve more than you ever imagined. Most people don't see things until they believe it, or don't believe things until they see it. But if you believe something, you will get to see it, and that's faith. I hope that answered your question, Alfred.
Yes, thank you. You have answered.
Perfect. Perfect. Decision. I already covered decision. If you want more on that, I can speak to more on that. We're running out of time. I really wanted to get to this slide deck here. You know, let me start this. It's more beneficial when you get to see the whole screen. So Napoleon Hill has come up with the 17 principles for success. You need at least 4 or 5, but the more that you employ, the better it will be for you. So that when the riches start coming, you're going to ask, where were they? Why was it hiding? There's 12 riches of life: positive mental attitude, sound physical health, harmony in relationships, freedom from fear. If you have faith, you don't have fear. Hope of achievement, well, that should be part of what you want to get to. Capacity for faith, willingness to share one's blessings. So when you reach your unlimited capacity and goals, will you help others? Sure, you will, because you want to help others succeed as well. Have a labor of love. If you love doing what you're doing, you don't work a day in your life. Have an open mind on all subjects. Self-discipline. Remember, I talked about the self-discipline camp. We teach you to change the way things have been happening to you so that you can create the things that you want to have happen. Self-discipline is not hard. Self-discipline is love of oneself. Thinking of discipline when I was in the military, boot camp. Everybody said boot camp was going to teach you discipline. Well, in my mind, it was going to be hard, but I was told before I went to boot camp to serve in the Navy that other people did it, and so could I. And when I got there, I found a way to be in the Navy band. It wasn't hard for me at all. I enjoyed my journey. We all said that we wanted to do it again the next year because we had a great time together. That's camaraderie. Open-mindedness on all subjects, self-discipline. Again, self-discipline is what we're going to with the camp. Maybe I covered that already. Capacity to understand other people. Maybe not everybody here speaks good English, but I think we understand each other and we can communicate together on a vibrational level to people that we don't see and have a connection occur across the world. Just as well as people are able to reach out and call me, if they have my number, if they know me in spirit and vibration, they can also connect with me and I can understand them. Financial security being the last, never having fear about money and having enough money to do anything that you want. So I talked about changing the subconscious mind, and you can't replace what's going on today by fighting the existing reality. We have to create something new that replaces it. And that's what we do when we teach you as a mentor. You come up with a definiteness of purpose. What is it that you want to do? Definiteness of the purpose is the starting point of all achievement. You know, you could be a ship without a captain and nobody at the rudder, but you're never going to get to your destination. You can put 1,000 ships out there and not have a captain driving the ship. They're going to crash, right? We teach you how to steer your ship so that you can reach your destination. Bruce Lee came up with this definiteness, definite chief aim. He wanted to be the greatest kung fu fighter of all time. Bruce Lee will be the first highest paid Oriental superstar in the United States. In return, I will give the most exciting performances and render the best of quality in the capacity of an actor. Starting 1970, I will achieve world fame, and from then onward till the end of 1980, I will have in my possession $10 million. I will live the way I please and achieve inner harmony and happiness. And this was in The Secret as well as at the Napoleon Hill Foundation. So anything that you see with Napoleon Hill Institute is a writing or an article or an artifact that we hold sole possession of. Oh, there it is. Easier to read. So definite chief aim is the commitment to bring forth an outcome that will cause growth and transformation. It's to create a process that causes you to grow. Goals are to grow, self-realization, and self-fulfillment. A burning desire is a subconsciousness. We magnetize our mind with intense desire for riches. Success consciousness gives vibe of value and enthusiasm, and you magnetize opportunities and people based on your dominating thoughts. Jerome, did you know me before I started posting about Napoleon Hill on Facebook?
No, never,
And
never,
yet
ever.
you attracted me into your reality, didn't you?
Certainly.
So this is telling you that you've magnetized your consciousness to my reality as well. And we're meant to be together to journey to your success. So this is the mind. Remember, I talked about you're a spiritual being in a physical body. That might be hard to digest, but if you give it a minute, we use the 12 riches and think of why in creating a burning desire. And your definite chief aim must be correct that lights the fire within you. Remember, you said that you had a desire, you had a goal, but you can't seem to get there. That's because you didn't make a decision to start yet. I know I've told you that before, right?
Sure.
So I hope that my expression of explaining how my desire wasn't achieved either until I made a decision to change. The true burning desire will create a winning mentality. With daily discipline, you'll rewrite your old limiting story with your decisions. And that's what coaching helps to do. You know, all of the professionals in the world that are paid millions of dollars, whether they're athletes or business people, they all have coaches. Anybody that thinks that they can do this on their own, they're the amateurs. And I just posted that out on Facebook in case you wanted to see that. That should be easy to pick up because I posted it publicly. Anybody can go and look for that. Let's see. We magnetize you for I can do this no matter what, so that you can get the desire that you are seeking, whether it's helping others, whether it's love, relationships, whether it's money. Achieving your goal is what we do with Napoleon Hill Institutes. They have an assignment, but that was for a webinar that they had, and I don't have access to that right now. But anyway, that being said, we're over time, but I'm happy to stick around if there's any questions that need to be addressed.
Do you
Wow,
guys have a question, please put your hands up and take it away.
I can't have done that great of a job. I can't guarantee you that in 2 weeks you're going to see a difference, but I do guarantee that in 30 days, if you start with us, you're going to notice there is a money back guarantee. So if you don't like what you see, then we can change that and we'll give you your money back. We don't want to keep people engaged in a product that they don't believe in, because we're all believers. And we're looking for coaches too. Other people to share this on their journey to help others. So not everybody qualifies for that because not everybody wants to be a coach. But when I started, I was just in the mentor program. That's what I'm offering right now. But if I see greatness in you, I think, Jerome, you have it. You just don't know it yet. Then I'll offer the coaching program to you as well.
Sure. Yes.
We teach everything as you go. It's not hard. You just need to decide. I wish your connection was good too, Julia. Alfred raised your hand. Please come on down. How can I help you?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, thank you for the great, insightful presentation. I met Jerome. Jerome met me here in Uganda during the workshop that we had. And really, he has in his mind how to help people to get out from their poverty. And I think the way he's doing by inviting you people that have experiences on coaching people is the best way. And I think one day he will be free from his mind and even to teach us like the way you are doing too. So I saw the book, Think and Grow Rich, here in Uganda one day. And at that time, I didn't have money with me to buy it.
So if you
Next
send
day,
me an email, I will send
Hey,
you an electronic copy of the book.
Yes.
all right, thank you. I will do it right now.
But Alfred, let me tell you,
Okay,
so
this is
many
my
people,
request. Okay,
so many people will read the book, but they won't be able to change. That's why I'm here. That's why I talked about my journey being 8 years long and not making change, not achieving my goal like Jerome is talking about, until I decided to get mentors, until I decided to get a coach. I will give you all a free copy. You only
thank you
need
very
to
much.
ask. I'll put my email address in the chat.
Sure. In the chat, please.
You can also find me on Facebook.
Facebook. Yes.
Thank you very much.
I only have 27,000 connections on LinkedIn. So if you want to give me a connection there, that's great.
All right, I'll do it.
Sometimes I'm on Instagram, but not as much.
Yeah.
I think
And you said,
Facebook. Go ahead.
yes, and you said also something that's very interesting to me. I tried many times to write a book, but I couldn't. Sometimes I can write and forget it. So how can I make it? You said that you wrote a book within 8 days, something like that?
So I wrote it in 8 weeks, and now I'm coming up with a book writing program. People can sign up with me, and I will show them how to write and publish a book. I will teach them.
Thank you very much.
Yes, and for your reminder, Albert he's a giant. He's a master in this material, and I never met someone like him. For me, he's the best, truly. So, you want to reach out to him to get clarity, right, and get results for stick, and your result will skyrocket, right? I've been following him from, let's say, yes, less than 1 year, but my results are changing, believe me. So please ask any question and don't hesitate to send him email, reach out to him on Facebook, etc. Interact with him. He's the best.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I try to be 1% better every day. And if you can do just 1% as a better person each day, at the end of a year, you're 130% better than you were when you started. So it's small incremental changes that help you reach your goals faster than you ever dreamed possible. Give them a few more moments. If they have questions, that's great. Otherwise, they can reach out.
Another question?
Hello.
Hi.
Adam?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Albert, for your wonderful learning.
Presentation?
And
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. Um, you said something that is very interesting for me. You said you try to be 1% better each day. I think it is the more important thing we have to learn today, because we cannot get better 100 or 50% at one time, you know. So I'm reading the book of Darren Hardy, The Cumulative Effects. I don't know if you know about this book.
What is the
And
book?
that is the cumulative effects, Darren Hardy.
I don't know.
I will send you it.
Can you write it down in the chat, please?
Yeah, I'm going to do it.
Meanwhile, you can go on, right?
Yeah. So that book is talking about how to grow by the small action day by day, and don't be in hurry to grow. You have to grow day by day by few actions and in regularly. So that's what I have to say, and thank you for for your commitments.
Thank you.
I have the book in French, but I think it is also available in English.
You want the book in English?
I have it already in French, but if you can have it, you can get it in English for me. It will be good.
Yeah, Adam, reach out to me either on Facebook or contact me with your email address and I will send it to you.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
This is a rare opportunity to have Albert live, right? So I want you to take advantage of such a rare opportunity. Believe me, he's working. I mean, he's a global coach, right? In global certified coach in Napoleon Hill Institute. I don't know if you know what we're talking about. Napoleon Hill Institute is the greatest institute in the world. Believe me. I'm not saying that to, I mean, it's not, I'm not advertising. It is true. You can go to check on Google, right? It is the greatest institute in the world. I mean, they are the best. Please take advantage and ask any question and reach out to it. It is priceless, believe me, right?
Oh, thank you, Jerome. I appreciate it. Lido. Adam, I'm going to mute you. You got some background noise.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Thank you, sir, for your great presentation. I was not here at the beginning, and I see in the group Coach Jerome is talking about the debate, and I decided to join. Even I am late, and I would like also to see your face, sir. So thank you, and I hope I will be on time for next time in order to follow you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Noru. Hope I said that right. Noru?
Yes. Good evening, Mr. Albert.
Yes.
It's just a pleasure to have you online this evening. You come from Napoleon Institute. It is just a great honor for us. But particularly, I would like to collaborate with you in order to improve my skill. You know, all aspects you present, you know, is important. It will be possible to do it with you collaborate. Why not? Because you are, you know, a gracious person. Then I truly appreciate it.
Thank you. Please, you better reach out to him for any kind of
Mr.
collaboration.
Well, thank you. I think that, showing people the potential by being a product of the product is the best way to talk about what we do. I talked about 4 books in 2 years, but I didn't tell you that last year I was nominated for the Who's Who list for the world. I didn't expect that. I didn't ask for that. It came to me. Romeo.
Hello. Thank you, Mr. Albert,
Oh, thank you.
for your great presentation. I deeply appreciate to be here, even if I was not there at the beginning. I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I want to know if you can advise us a process to fire up our desire every single day.
Yes, sir.
Because my challenge is it comes some days that I am bombarded by distractions.
Yes, sir.
And
I understand.
yes. That is my great challenge. I want to have even if a material or a tool or a process, or I don't know, to fire up my desire every day in order to maintain my focus on my goals.
Yes, we have that.
Oh, okay.
That is part of our disruptor program in the self-discipline camp. If you sign up with coaching with NHI, you get access to self-discipline camp. We have global centers that are just about in every time zone. I study in the East Coast, which is 5:30 a.m. for me. But since you're, what are you, 4 or 5 hours ahead? That could be in the middle of the morning. Or you could watch a replay. The intensity, though, that you get while being live in the self-discipline camp is definitely higher than watching a replay. But watching a replay is still very, very beneficial because that's education that you can't get anywhere else. So, can we help you? I think that we can. I know that we can.
Sure. Okay. Thank you, sir.
You have to decide that you want us to help you.
Okay.
When you
Okay.
decide, we will, they say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Yes, yes.
That's why I'm here.
Thank you, sir. Great.
That is awesome. Okay, any other question? Dear Douglas, do you have a question? Before we close?
Before we close, I just want to end with the hat, the same hat that Jerome put on in his publication for this webinar, this event. I've been wearing hats. I have two hats, a black hat for the winter, and it's a wool hat for the cold, and a straw hat for the spring and summer. So in cybersecurity, you can be a white hat hacker, which is somebody that helps people, or a black hat hacker, which is somebody that's really bad. But if you understand both, they call you a gray hat. Well, I don't like gray hats, so I'd go with black and I go with white. That's the yin and the yang. And I understand more about cyber than most people care to know.
Wow. So interesting.
Great.
Julia, you are back. Do you have a question to Albert? You are muted, please.
So I implore everyone that's here to take a look at the chat, and in the upper right-hand corner are 3 dots. If you click the 3 dots, you can save the chat and save the messages from this event so that you don't miss anything. It includes my email address, and you know that you can reach me on Facebook as well. Rachita, it's very dark where you are.
Welcome, Mrs. Rashida. Do you have a question?
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Jerome. Sorry, I have joined you late, but I haven't understand what we say. Sorry for it.
I'm sorry, was there a question there? I heard it's safe. Jerome, what did I miss?
I think it is competent. It's good now, right? I wanna, on behalf of all the attendees, I wanna thank you really from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. God bless you. I know that this kind of material is priceless. What you are doing here, it is priceless. We couldn't afford to pay, and thank you. God bless you.
And I want to invite
everyone here,
yes,
to truly reach out to Albert. He's the best, right? And you're gonna find it. You're gonna realize it by yourself. He's the best, and he will take you from where you are to where you want to go in a short period of time. Yes. Okay.
Yes, that is the goal.
Thank you so much, Albert. I hope we have you again for another amazing session. Well,
thank you.
So thank you, and thank you everyone for attending. Bye for now.
Thank you very much. Bye for now.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye now.
Yes, thank you, Albert. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Mr. Jerome. Thank Albert for this great exchange on how to become rich with your book. Thank you. It is wonderful. I learn more. Thank you. And
awesome.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Mary. See you. Such a good pleasure. Thank you, everyone. Once again. Yes, thank you, dear Pastor.
God bless you.
Thank you. Amen. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. So you're gonna stop the recording dear Albert. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.